Hello everybody and welcome, my name is GaaraOfBentonYGO. Today here on this exciting Yu-Gi-Oh video, we are going to be bringing you my second place Magical Musketeer deck profile from my locals. I picked up this deck yesterday. I didn't really know how the deck worked other than reading the cards and had a brief idea of how it worked, but I built the deck and I got second place in my locals yesterday, losing to Buster Blader Guard Dragon, who got first place. My friend Combo Cody, who I will be bringing you guys the deck profile for his Buster Blader Guard Dragon deck profile later this week. But without further ado, let's get into the Magical Musketeer deck profile. If you guys want to see some kind of replays of this deck, 'cause it's not really a combo deck, it's more of a control deck, then let me know in the comment section below and I can bring that to you guys as well. So, starting off with the deck profile, we're playing 3 Magical Musketeer Caspars. All the Magical Musketeers have the effect that while they're on the field during either player's turn, you can activate Magical Musket spell and trap cards from your hand, and then they all have an effect if a spell or trap card is activated in the same column as them. For this one, if a spell or trap card for either player's spell or trap card is activated in the same column as Caspar, then he searches out a Magical Musketeer card, which is super good. Helps you get more of your spells and traps, and then also helps you get some monsters if you need other monsters. Then we're playing a triple Magical Musketeer Starfire. When a spell or trap is activated in the same column as Starfire, she special summons out a Magical Musket monster from your deck, a level 4 or lower Magical Musket monster from your deck. This is very good for the inbuilt OTK that Magical Muskets have. I say inbuilt, but it works, and we'll explain that here in a little bit. But yeah, that's what she does. And then we're also playing 3 Magical Musketeer Kid Brave. What Kid Brave does is if spell or trap card is activated in this card's column, you can discard 1 Magical Musket card and then draw 2 cards, which is really good. +1 for Kid Brave. Then for kind of the worst ones you don't want to see in your opening hand, but you want to see later on, is we're playing 2 Magical Musketeer Docks. What Dock does is if a spell or trap is activated in the same column, you can add 1 Magical Musket card from your graveyard to your hand, but not a card with the same name as the one activated in this card's column. And then for our 2 one-ofs, which are our other level 4s for the deck, is we're playing 1 Calamity and 1 Wild. Calamity lets you, if a spell or trap is activated in the same column, target 1 Magical Musketeer monster in the graveyard, special summon in defense position. And then Magical Musketeer Wild is if a spell or trap card is activated in this card's column, you can target 3 Magical Musket cards in the graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and then draw 1 card. Forgot to mention all of these are hard ones per turns, which kind of limit the deck, but they'd be utterly broken if they were not hard ones per turns. And probably Caspar and Starfire would be a whole lot more than the $20 that they are. That's it for the monsters. We're not playing any monster hand traps in the deck because they're not spell or traps you can activate from your hand, and they're also not spell or traps that would give you the Magical Musketeer effects. Now for our Magical Musketeer spell cards, we are playing triple Magical Musket Cross Domination. What this card does is if you target 1 face-up monster on the field until the end of this turn, changes attack and defense to 0. This helps a lot with the level 4 OTK. And then we're playing 1 Magical Musket Steady Hands. This doubles the attack and defense of one of your Magical Musket monsters, which is really good. And the honorary Magical Musketeer card is Ties of the Brethren. What this card does is you pay 2,000 life points to target 1 level 4 or lower monster you control. For the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters. Also, special summon 2 monsters from your deck with the same type, attribute, and level as that monster, but with different names from each other and that monster. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn that you activate this card. So this basically gives you 2 more Magical Musketeer monsters on the field, which is really good because they're all light fiends. Yeah, I forgot what type they were, so it's really good. And then for our just generic spell cards, we're playing triple Called by the Grave. we're not too worried about hand traps unless we're going for that OTK. But Called by the Grave is just a great disruption card, so that's why I'm playing that. And then we're playing double Pot of Desires. I thought about playing Pot of Extravagance, but there's some cards in the extra deck that I don't want to play multiples of, but they're not, but they're absolutely useful for the deck. And so that's why I'm playing Pot of Desires and not Pot of Extravagance. And most of the cards in the deck are 3-ofs anyway, so they don't really matter. And then we're playing double Twin Twister for the back row removal. And then the 1-up Stark Goblin, get a free draw and trigger a Magical Musketeer effect, which is really good. And then the one card to help with our OTK, if I didn't draw it for my games throughout the tournament, 1 double or nothing. This is really, really good because not only with Starfire, but with also the new Magical Musketeer Max, you can summon 2 level 4s, immediately go into Utopia Double and OTK your opponent, and Cross Domination, making your opponent's monster 0 attack. It just doesn't matter what monster they have on the board. If you have Cross Domination, then you can get the Utopia Double. Now, moving on to our trap cards, we are playing triple Magical Musket Desperado. All the Magical Musket spells are once per spells and traps are once per turn as well. This one pops a card on the field, which is really, really good. And then we have triple Magical Musket Last Stand. This card, it's a Infernity Barrier, I want to say. I don't really know. Basically what it does is it's a counter trap that if you control Magical Musket, then you can negate 1 spell or trap card and then destroy it, which is really, really good. Because you can activate all these from your hand while you control Magical Musketeer monster. So you don't have to set anything, you don't have to worry about Twin Twister or whatever. You can just use them whenever you want to. Now for our 1-of trap cards for our Magical Musket, we have 1 Dancing Needle, which this card, you target up to 3 cards in the graveyard, so either player's graveyard, and then you banish them, which is really good. Magical Musket Fiendish Deal. This stops all your Magical Musket monsters from being destroyed by battle or card effects. And if this card is sent to the graveyard while you control it by an opponent's card effect, you can add 1 Magical Musket card from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except for Fiendish Deal, which is really, really good. And then the 1 Crooked Crown, you can only control 1 Crooked Crown during the main phase. You can special summon 1 Magical Musket monster from your hand, and if you do, if your opponent's main monster zone is in this column is unused, that zone cannot be used until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. And what's really, really good about this is it's a trap card, so you can use it during either player's turn, which is really, really good. Next, for the last 3 cards of our deck, we played triple Infinite Impermanence. It's a hand trap that you can also set. It's really, really good. Negating monster effects is always the way to go. That's it for the 41 main card deck. The rest of the cards will go by pretty fast. I wanted to explain what all the Magical Musket cards do. Now moving on to the extra deck, we're playing triple Magical Musketeer Max. This is the new card that came out of Battles of Legend, and this card is absolutely broken. So basically what it does, it's a link 1 that uses 1 level 8 or lower Magical Musketeer monster. Basically what it does is when it's link summoned, you can either add Magical Musket spell source traps with different names from your deck to your hand up to the number of monsters your opponent controls, or you can special summon Magical Musketeer monsters from your deck up to the number of spell and trap cards that your opponent controls with different names, which is really, really good. This card is absolutely broken, helps with the OTKs, and it's an absolute 3-of in the deck. Now, for just our generic links, we're playing 1 Phoenix, 1 Lambda. We have a Trisbania, Borlo Dragon, Boral Sword. I didn't really go into any of these. I didn't need to. My Magical Musketeer spell and traps were always the better options to go to, and so was Max. Now, for our XZs, we're playing the 1 number 39 Utopia, and then the 1 number 39 Utopia Double. This is the OTK for the deck, which is really, really good. Without that, the deck would still be really good. It's just that helps win you some games you may not have won before. Then we have the one-time Thief Redoer for other rank 4. I didn't really know what else to put in there. I may throw in an Exiton Knight or something, but I love Redoer. Redoer's awesome. And then for the last cards in our deck, we are playing our 4 Super Poly targets. We're playing the 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, Violet Chimera, Dragon's Tapalia, and then just for my locals, because there is an Invoked Mech Knight player, Cough Cough Invoked 101, I threw in Invoked Elysium just to blow away his board if I really needed to. And that's it for the extra deck. Now moving on to the side deck. The side deck is really bad. I don't really know how to side with this deck yet, so I just kind of threw in a generic side deck. Triple Gamma and the 1 driver for Lambda. Then we played triple Artifact Lancia, double Phantasme, double Ghost Sister to try and win in time if it ever resulted to that. Then double Super Poly because I don't own a 3rd. And then the last cards, triple Evenly Matched. And that's it for this deck. You guys will probably see this deck again in the future. I kind of want to take this deck to a regional. I don't really know. It's in a debate. I have Crusadia Thunder Dragon, but I kind of want to test another deck at a regional. I have 3 regionals and then a YCS coming up in the next month and a half. So I have a lot of time to play some decks. I do want to try and get my invite to nationals, but I don't know. We'll just see how things go. But you guys will be seeing this deck again in the future. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.